Hello, welcome to another episode of our new show, Carling Win the League. This is the show where we'll be debating all the hottest talking points in football from the past week, and all the questions are led by you guys from social media, so get involved. With me today, a man that needs no introduction, but I will introduce him anyway. It is, of course, ex-England fullback Danny Mills. How are you, mate?
I'm really well, looking forward to the new season.
Good man. And also, Arsenal fan from Football Daily, Pato.
Thanks for having me, mate.
No worries. Plus, we've got some great prizes courtesy of our mates at Carling, including how you can win the Premier League trophy in your living room. Keep watching the show to find out how you can do that. But first, let's get cracking with the questions. Right, our first question comes from Brody_Gooding7 on Soccer's Instagram account. It says, where do you think Sanchez should go and where do you think he will go? Obviously, Danny, all summer Sanchez has been linked with Bayern Munich, PSG, Man City, Chelsea at one point as well. We know he's got very high wage demands in his last year of his contract at Arsenal. A lot of rumours saying he may want to be reunited with Pep. Where do you think he will go?
If he's got no ambition, I think he's going to stay at Arsenal.
Oh my God.
Because I think they're going to finish 6th or 7th. I think they're
Seventh?
going to struggle. Yeah.
7th. Who didn't finish above Arsenal this season? Who you think could finish above them
Everton.
next season? Everton.
I think they've done some decent bits.
Really?
I mean, a lot of their young players. Koeman's, look what he's done at Southampton, in the Ajax model. He knows his stuff. If they start to get it right, Arsenal haven't really strengthened enough for me, and I think they'll stay still. If Sanchez goes, who's going to score the goals? You can't rely on Giroud. Lacazette coming in from the French league. Always at Arsenal, it takes players 6 or 7 months to settle. Mm-hmm. So he might have a good back end of the season, and you might scrape into 6. you know, if you win the last 11 games,
Who's
like
going
you
to score
normally
Everton's goals though? That's a good.
Well, they might do a bit of business.
Yeah, they might.
Obviously, if
They
they
might
sell
do.
Barkley for astronomical figure,
They can have Alexis for 60 mil.
swap deal.
Do you think that Arsenal will still finish 6th or 7th even if they keep Alexis? You're just not having their summer activity at all?
He's clearly not happy. You know, when you've got an unhappy player, is he going to put in 100%? Is he going to train to his absolute max? It's all right saying yes, he will, and he's a professional. But if you want to leave, and if you're not really happy there, his standard only has to drop by 5%, and that's a massive difference.
30 goals in 51 appearances for Arsenal, 15 assists as well in all competitions that is last season. The only person to feature in every single Premier League match for Arsenal as well. Chile's all-time top goal scorer, nominated for the PFA team of the season.
You're making me
The man,
misty-eyed.
He
It's
Panenka-ed
unbelievable.
a penalty in the Copa America final, scored in the FA Cup final. I mean, as an Arsenal fan, surely you have to do whatever it takes to keep him.
I think at this point you do, yeah, because you're kind of stuck in 5th place. You've got to keep your squad as strong as it can be. I think if we got in the Champions League, then maybe you say, it looks like we're interested in Thomas Lemar, so you say maybe we go and get somebody there and we pick up another young player to kind of fill the gap. But now I think we've just got to keep every quality player that we have so that we can run at the Champions League this season, hopefully get back in and then strengthen the squad properly next year.
Do you think he'll stay at Arsenal?
If Arsenal are prepared to be strong, he doesn't have a choice. He has to stay for this year.
Recent Instagram post, I want to get your opinion on this. He posted an image saying he had the flu and he's delaying his time back at Arsenal. I mean, do you buy that? Well, none of us obviously know. What is your opinion on that?
I mean,
and have you experienced that in your time?
Oh, without a
playing
doubt. I mean, players these days have all the power. He can almost do what he wants because they can't just sack him. They can't get rid of him. This is what I'm saying. You can't keep an unhappy player. If he doesn't want to be there, if he's coming in, he's clearly got a big influence on a lot of the young players, the other players. We saw it with Costa. If you start kicking up a fuss, and it takes a very, very strong, brave manager to keep him at the football club.
So, okay, in answer to the question, you think he'll stay another season?
Yeah.
And then City, you think is his destination next summer?
It seems like
With
the
Pep?
probable thing, right? I mean, as sad as it is to say, I think obviously he's got that relationship with Pep Guardiola. I mean, he played in a slightly different role when he went there before. But they're really well stocked. That's my one objection to City if I'm Alexis. I kind of think they've got so many young quality attackers. They've got Sané, they've got Sterling, they've got Gabriel Jesus.
I think Man City are clearly the favourites. He does have that almost semi-awkward, I think, relationship with Pep. Obviously, he knows him, he knows how he works. Yeah. He's got that hard-working mentality that Pep loves. Clearly, City have got the money. PSG, could they come in with a late bid? It looks like they're going to do a little bit of late business, come in with a massive bid. But I mean, ultimately, if he's got real ambition, if he wants to make a difference in the world, come and sign for Leeds. Come on, get him back in the Premier League.
The question is, would he get in the Leeds team currently?
Well, I don't know. Would he knock Chris Wood out? 20,
Good player. Chris
probably.
Wood.
He can play on the left or the right. He can't play down the middle.
Right, so interestingly, we did do a poll on our Soccer M Twitter account saying, will Sanchez be an Arsenal player at the start of the season? Very simply, 48% of you said yes, 52% of you said no. That is how split it is. So Brodie, great question. Right, our next question comes from Jude White11. Hey Jude, it's from Soccer M's Instagram account. Sorry, that was terrible, wasn't it? The question is, who is the bargain buy of the summer so far?
There's a guy called Pascal Gross who's gone to Brighton, who was creating as many chances last season as Mesut Ozil and Christian Eriksen.
Wow.
And they've got him for, I think, about 5 million in Germany in the Bundesliga. Like, so,
Didn't see that.
Yeah, in a proper league, and I think they've got him for about 5-6 mil. You know, like it's not too bad. But actually, I think Mo Salah.
Do you think that's a bargain buy, do you?
For under 40 mil, when you think about, we're talking about Mahrez and Sigurdsson for going for between 40 and 50.
You've clearly got some cash, by the way.
You don't agree with that?
Well, I'm going right on the end of scale. Jermaine Defoe to Bournemouth is an absolute steal.
Whoa.
I mean, he's going to score.
I hate that.
He's going to guarantee you 15 goals for nothing. That's all it is. I mean, so that probably guarantees Bournemouth staying in the Premier League again. How high they finish, who knows? And that's a great move. Joe Hart to West Ham on a free transfer or on a loan deal.
I don't like that one either.
Again,
you're disagreeing on everything.
one.
You're not having either of these.
He's a great keeper.
No, I
He's made
agree.
the odd mistake, but he's still England's number one.
I like Joe Hart, but I think that Adrian is actually an underrated goalkeeper.
But
And
he's
I'm not
free.
sure they should be spending. Well, they're still spending wages. You know, there's still a lot of money.
Yeah, but they're
going
not
out there.
spending 40 million and wages.
Well,
they're just spending wages.
Yeah, but they didn't need to spend any. Adrian's already at the club. Like, I mean, my issue with Defoe,
Joe
I think
Joe Hart, Harty's better than Adrian.
Defoe is a horrible move. I hate
Why?
Defoe. He got 15 goals last season, so you're assuming he's going to be as good next season as he was this season, which, given that he's 35, I think is a little bit of a stretch. He signed up till he's 38, and
He looks after himself so well.
yeah, but you've got to say
Hang on, how old was Zlatan last season?
Zlatan and Jermaine Defoe, I do not think are comparable players.
You threw the age thing in.
Yeah, but I'm not saying
Age
that,
is
like,
immaterial.
It's not immaterial.
John Terry, not a good move to Villa?
No, I hate that move as well.
Do you hate that move?
Yeah, I do. Jermaine Defoe, it's such a huge amount of money that they're going to pay him per year for 3 years.
But he's a proven goal scorer in that league, isn't he? He will score goals for Bournemouth.
He got
We
10
know
goals that weren't penalties last season. You're telling me you can't find somebody who can score 10 non-penalty goals for you per season? You've already got a guy who takes penalties. I'm not sure what you're paying for there. Nobody's looking at paying this money for Troy Deeney, and Troy Deeney got 10 goals. Sam Folkes got 10 goals.
Danny,
I can't understand it.
I still think Jermaine Defoe, I mean, he's one of, you give him chances, you create chances for him, he will score. He's not going to play every game. He's not going to start every single game. But as a secondary, auxiliary striker, whatever you want to call it, to come off the bench, to make an impact, he will score goals, and he's proven it time and time again. He even came back and scored for England for the first time in 4 years.
With that said, let us know in the comment section who you think is a bargain buy, and get involved in this Mo Salah, Jermaine Defoe debate, really. Who is a more better bargain buy? I'm going to throw a name there, Dominic Solanke, Chelsea to Liverpool. I watched a lot of the under-20s, which England won. He scored 4 goals in that tournament. You know, that's, for me, he could be a player that turns into a very good player. And one that I don't know why Chelsea have let go. Chelsea have got an interesting policy in that they've got a lot of players on loan, a lot of young English players and foreign players as well. They win everything at youth level, and then they seem to just spend fortunes bringing players in from abroad.
Well, they're amazing at developing talent and then horrible at keeping it and actually putting it in their first team. Like Tammy Abraham surely was ready to do a job for them, at least as a backup striker this season. They bought Michy Batshuayi for more than 30 mil last summer. He's got no game time. So you just kind of look at these players who are going, you know, now between them, Mo Salah, Lukaku and De Bruyne have all gone for about 160 mil combined, and Chelsea have seen none of that money.
And this is the issue I have with a lot of top Premier League clubs. They stockpile all the really good youngsters, and it's just a factory. They are it's a business. You know, they're bringing these kids in, they're bringing them through their academies, paying them peanuts, you know, in compared to what they would have to buy the players in. They're getting for nothing, and even if they sell them for 3 million, 4 million, 10 million, that's all pure profit.
Right, lads, we're also celebrating 25 years of the Premier League. So with that said, Danny, what is your greatest ever Premier League moment?
Oh, I don't know, there's so many to think about. Obviously, I was around almost playing at the beginning of the Premier League era as it was. Cantona was something special. I mean, he was unbelievable. Obviously went from Leeds, obviously winning as it was football before it began, the old Division 1, and then went straight into obviously the Premier League and won it with United. Some of his goals were fantastic. Obviously, you know, the seagulls following the trawler. I mean, so many moments. Some of the chips that he did, and it was a chip against Sunderland, I think it was, where it was almost inside the box, and he just dinked it into the far corner, and just stands there, collar up.
What was he like to play against?
don't think I actually played against him.
Never played against him?
No, I mean, I was infancy in my career. Got relegated in '94 with Norwich. I mean, that was the Duncan Ferguson era when you didn't really want to play centre half. There was some nasty centre forwards around at that time. I was 17. I was on the bench going, please don't put me on, please don't put me on. Obviously Aguero. Last day of the season, to and fro-in from United to City, 44 years since City had won the league. The dying moments, he didn't go down, he didn't take a dive and go for the penalty, stayed on his feet, and of course, you know, Martin Tyler's celebration will go down in history forever.
Aguero! Would you agree with Aguero?
I mean, all my favourite Premier League moments involve Danny Mills. That's what I will say.
So that's a red card, a red card, a red card.
A tackle.
Shouldering someone into the sideboard,
I mean, I think we're in agreement in terms of the actual moment as a neutral. The Aguero moment was just incredible.
Some of the things you forget about, some of the own goals, where people were, I think it was Lee Dixon, chipped David Seaman from the halfway line. Because when football, before football began, before the Premier League, you could pick the ball up. And that rule change was unbelievable. For about a year and a half, 2 years, it caused so many problems. You know, people didn't know what to do, did they? Goalkeepers suddenly had to kick it, you know, and start dribbling out and all that sort of stuff. Now it's just normal. But some of the own goals.
The other moment I thought was crazy. The other moment I thought was crazy was the beach ball incident, Darren Bennett's goal. Because at what point now, we've all been to so many games, does a beach ball not get cleared? Does it make its way onto the pitch and not get removed by a player or security? Let alone it's in play as a striker is kicking the ball, and it was the only goal of the game that won them the game. I mean, it's just crazy moment. Any other crazy moments that stand out for you?
Martin Keough dancing around Van Nistelrooy.
I was going to mention
it's so good.
Thing.
It's so good.
It's ridiculous.
Right, sadly that is all we've got time for, but don't forget you can win some amazing prizes courtesy of our mates at Carling. All you've got to do is buy a promotional pack of Carling, scan the can using the Carling tap app. You can win match tickets, Carling beer, even the Premier League trophy in your living room. Great prizes there. Big thanks to Pato from the Football Daily. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Pleasure.
And of course, Danny Mills, enjoy it?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time with another Premier League legend. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you later.